And everything that you're going to see has been put together collaboratively, working together every day during Google Meets and figuring this thing out. So I'm going to turn it over to the real magicians now and let them all tell you what they've been doing during this time.
Okay, so like many of you, when we started this online adventure, we needed to know how we could meet with our students and continue instruction. And that made us all kind of nervous of how we were going to do that. So we had a lot of questions of how that was going to look for our kindergarten students. And as a team, as Dr. Caton just said, we decided we needed to continue to instruct our students, yet still keeping them engaged with activities so that it was enjoyable for them. And obviously we wanted them to be on there working each day and continuing to learn. So as you can see on this slide, we started off with show and tell, and then we were like, okay, what else can we do? What else can we do that's going to be successful? So we have implemented all of these ideas that you're seeing, and then there's examples of student work. And as a team, I will say that our kindergarten students have wowed us because now they are navigating for themselves. They're learning how to mute and unmute and taking pictures and recording themselves. So I'm going to give us a couple of examples of things that we've done on this page. And if you have additional questions, you can certainly contact us or we'll answer them at the end. But for example, the reading forts was a problem-solving activity, but yet at the end, they got in there and read their books. They recorded themselves reading. They shared that with their teachers and with their classmates. We are focusing on reading, but we also did put some examples of math in here. And we were doing 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional shapes, which is such a hands-on activity when we're in the classroom. So we did videos, and then during the Google Meet, we also had the kids find shapes at their house to have them doing hands-on activities so that, again, they were getting lots of practice as they would be doing if we were at school. And I'm going to stress what Dr. Caton said. As a team, yes, have we had failures? Have things worked out better sometimes than we expected? But we definitely had strengths and challenges. And so that worked out really well for us to share our ideas. And next slide, Dr. Caton. And we realized that during the Google Meets, sometimes we needed to meet in a large group. We were able to present our screen one-on-one and in small groups and have the kids partner read their decodables. So again, interactive and keeping the reading instruction going and for us to hear our students reading to us. And as new concepts came up, we needed to introduce those to the kids in person, again, for them to continue to be able to learn with us. And then, of course, we needed to reinforce and keep practicing that. And we've been doing that in small groups, one-on-one, and large groups. And as you can see on this slide, even just getting the grid view extension so that we could see all of our kiddos helped tremendously. And again, talking out what worked and sharing all of our ideas. And as you can see on the top slide, those 2 students really, again, amazed us by how they took their 2-dimensional shape and were able to send it back to us so that we could share with the other kids, but also tell their friends in the Google Meet what they did, explain the types of shapes, and again, more interaction with the students.
Hi, my name is Molly Lipovsky. I'm going to be talking with you all about Heggerty today. Heggerty is our phonemic awareness curriculum that we had introduced in school prior to this whole online learning process. When we started teaching this in school, it was something that we learned that needed to be taught through whole group instruction. Typically, it should be done in the mornings just because it's when their brains are most fresh and they can be very adaptive to all the tasks on here. But it's typically about 10 to 15 minutes and it's daily instruction given. So it was nice being able to introduce this prior to online learning because having to bring this to life through online instruction makes it a lot simpler for them to understand what is expected of them through this process. So when we brought it to life through online learning, since there are 5 kindergarten teachers across the Northgate school district, we each took a day, and each of us teaches Heggerty through a video, a pre-recorded video. It's not a live video. And so each of us teaches it one day a week. And like Dr. Caton explained to you guys in the beginning, this has been such a team effort. And not only is it good for us teachers to take one day a week to kind of lighten our workload in that way, but it's also nice because it allows the students to see new faces and learn in different ways, because although Heggerty is a scripted curriculum, teachers teach in different ways, and I think it's good for students to see that. And it also, like I said previously, exhibits the teamwork across our kindergarten team. So below there are 3 videos. I don't know if Dr. Caton's going to show all 3, but one of them is a video of myself teaching. There's like a minute clip of the Heggerty lesson. Which word begins like form? Would, feel. You should have said feel. Form, feel. Which word begins like act? Ask, size. You should have said ask. Act, ask. They both say after. Get those choppers ready again. Okay, do you have them ready? Good. Now, I'm going to tell you the word, and you're going to break it up for me. Okay, you're doing the chopping this time, not Miss Al. So here we go. The word is we. Chop it up for me. Your response should have been we. W-E. Next one, own. Your response should be own. O-N. Add. And your response should be add, add.
Okay, moving on to our word building and dictation segment. We were blessed to have the time with our kids in the classroom. So this was kind of like a routine that was already set. And we felt that we wanted to continue what we have started in the classroom, and we wanted our kids to experience that word building in their home. This is a very important part of our early literacy program, and we wanted to continue that throughout this online learning experience. So our word building and dictation during school was done 3 times a week. And as we moved on to the virtual format, we thought that that was a little overwhelming to parents. So we did cut it down to 2 days a week. There's a few pictures that I want you to look at on that slide. There are 2 students that have created their letters that they used for word building a few different ways. So the girl in the lower corner found ABC cards at home that could be used for her word building. And then the student up above, you see, made small letter cards just out of paper. The teachers did tell the students that if they made the cards to save them, because that they would use them in future word building sessions. Okay, so then they followed the video, and we're going to show 2 different clips of the videos, Dr. Caton. But before we do that, I want to look at the picture in the middle. I do want to give accolades to our reading specialists who did help us produce the 16-week word building that we completed in our classroom and continued through online learning. They provided us with the word lists, and I think the one that I included on there was week 15, so we had moved into diagraphs, which is a little bit more complex. They also provided us with the 2 silly sentences that we used for dictation, and then the decodables that went along, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. So go ahead, Dr. Caton, and click on the, we'll start with the Google video in the corner.
Hi friends, it's Miss Anderson. We're going to go ahead and try some word building today. So like I had told you before, you need your letters out in front of you. You may want to, like I said, write those on a small piece of paper and cut them apart, and maybe save them in a baggie for another day because we will be doing this again. Okay, here we go. This is the letter A. Say it. A says ah. Say it. This is the letter E. Say it. E says eh. Say it. This is the letter G. Say it. G says g. Say it. This is the letter M. Say it. M says Say it. This is the letter R. Say it. R says Say it. This is the letter S. Say it. S says S. Say it. This is the letter T. Say it. T says T. Say it. This is the letter U. U says Say it. Okay, nice job. So we have a long list of CBC words that we're going to make today. I'm going to go ahead and do it with you, and you're going to build as.
What's that?
I said we didn't have to watch the whole video. I linked it on there, so if you want to watch it further, you can. But that was an interesting setup. I had to use my laptop to, manipulate ways to show those letters. So I think the kids seeing that and they could manipulate the letters in front of them was an awesome way to bring this into the home. The other one, and we can watch that one. This is a way that we incorporated our word building via SeeSaw, and this is a short one.
Jog, cut, fox, zip, vel.
Which is the nonsense word?
Vel.
So that one was linked directly from a SeeSaw page, and that was done by one of our students. I think it kind of shows how great our parents are in helping their students working through these processes. So done a little bit differently, but can be done through SeeSaw or can be done through a video like a Google Hangout and then just an uploaded video. But this is, like I said, a very important part of our early literacy, and we wanted our students to carry this over as they continued their online learning. Okay, next slide is going to be our decodable reader, sorry. So the decodable reader, this just continues on with the word building. It highlights the words that we worked on in word building. So whether it was diagraphs or rhymes, whatever we were working on that day, we incorporated that into our decodable reader. And there's two pictures on there, one of the front cover of the reader. This was done mainly through SeeSaw. And Chris, there's a link, SeeSaw link.
Going fishing. Tad is with his mom and dad at the pond. Tad has his rod. I can get many fish with this.
And this was recorded by a student and uploaded to SeeSaw for the teacher.
Correct. So we had taken pictures because we were stuck in that, like, oh my gosh, we have decodables copied at school. How are we going to do this? So we simply took the pictures, uploaded them to SeeSaw. The students would click the microphone, and then we would be able to assess their fluency and their reading. A lot of parents would help with it, but, we wanted the kids to actually do this on their own. The other link that's there, and you don't have to pull it up, Chris, but that also is a link to our Journeys booklets, and that just follows our reading curriculum. It introduces more of like a sight word based. So we use those both, and we incorporated our Journeys curriculum in that. So that's all I have for decodable readers.
Awesome. Good morning, I'm Katie. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Wilson Fundations. Again, part of our curriculum for reading and ELA, and so something that we use every single day in the classroom. So something that we did as a team was we looked at the lessons for Wilson and thought about how can we bring them to life. And so I think we all kind of saw it as, if you remember, I don't know, I watched Blue's Clues growing up. And so like that pausing and that dramatic effect and really trying to make it seem real. So in the beginning of the video, I do some silly things with Baby Echo and kind of make it come alive. And so some of the things that would be cut were usually the make it fun section. But the other things that could remain pretty much were pretty good. And then for make it fun, we could do those in our Google Hangouts that we had weekly. Another cool thing that we did was, just like you saw with Abby and our word building and dictation, was we uploaded the template with Fundations with the lines, the large grid, and then the smaller 3 lines with the picture box. And then we also encourage our students to just get plain paper and pencil, because we all know that for kindergarten, handwriting is key, and writing it down is the best thing they can do. So with SeeSaw, you are able to write right on top of those grids or manipulate different things, but we also want them to be using their hand and don't lose those fine motor skills. And also the letter formation that comes along. So this was something that we did daily. We did some writing. You're going to see a little bit of one of my lessons here.
Let's get ourselves a pen. My Miss Hebner, looks like it ran away. There it is. The first word we're going to write is the word shop. Remember, we always tap it out. Shop. Let's tap it. Shop. Shh. Who is that? SH. Shh. And I like to extend it out. It just helps me. Shh. Op. Shop. Awesome. Let's keep going. The next word we're going to write is the word thin. Thin. Nice and thin, like a book sometimes. Thin. Ready? We know that's TH thumb, like Theo or Thursday. Thin. 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 Always go back and read it to yourself too. Make sure it makes sense.
So again, I would just have students kind of follow along with me, and then afterwards on SeeSaw, some of the assignments would directly align with what was happening. So there's these really cool different, you can see the digraph assessment that matches up with it, as well as that CVC word practice. So SeeSaw has some really amazing community resources already created for you, and that you're easily able to, the magnetic letter board is on there, the large writing grid, and then you can edit it just to do exactly what you're working on. And so I really saw, and we have all seen as a team, Fundations really come to life.
Although we know you came here today to learn some literacy instructional tools, we did want to share with you some adaptations that we've been able to make to our math curriculum in order to make our online experience more hands-on for our math learning for our students, like it would be in our classroom. So when we're teaching in the classroom, our math instruction uses lots of manipulatives and hands-on learning in order to support the students' learning. So when we started to teach these new chapters and concepts online, we started to question, how can we bring these ideas to life online? And so what we did was we enhanced our curriculum pages with the manipulatives that the students are already familiar with that we use in the classroom. So we found some clip art of some things, like I said, that we already use in the classroom, like our 2-dimensional shapes, some 3-dimensional shapes, and some blocks, things that the students could use to help support that visual and kinesthetic learning that they're used to in the classroom, so that they could really solidify those abstract concepts that we're trying to bring to life while we're learning from a distance.
Okay, so as educators, we know that we want our kiddos to learn, and we want them, especially through this online learning process, we want them to take it as seriously as possible, especially as a kindergartner. It is hard for them to always focus at times. But also as educators, we know that we have to keep it fun and engaging for them. So even though we are not in the classroom, we want to bring that fun to life through online learning. So these are videos that I post daily, and the team also posts them. And they're just fun and goofy ways to keep the students engaged and sort of eager to learn online. So Dr. Caton is going to play one of those for you.
Joke of the day. I hope you enjoy this one. Why are frogs so happy? Because they eat whatever bugs them.
So for those of you who want to know how to do this, the other one is just a video. My mouth gets bigger as I talk, and it kind of like jumps into your face. So I used a Snapchat filter. So I have the Snapchat app on my cell phone. You can go on there and search for filters that change your face. And then after that, I just save them and then email them to myself, and I upload it onto my Google Classroom that way. It's super easy and super fun, and a lot of my kiddos really enjoy it.
Hi. As the pre-K teacher in the district, I had the opportunity to collaborate with the kindergarten teachers. And so while I was looking at what they were doing, I was able to take that and then use that on my own platform. My kiddos are working and getting their activities through Classroom Dojo. So what we're doing for them each day is recording Heggerty videos for them to watch and participate in. We're doing letter and sound reviews, rhyming, just to name a few. And then the teacher's assistant that works with me, Mrs. Amy Dombrowski, and myself are reading 2 stories a day for them, along with having weekly Zoom meetings. So what you see here are some of the activities that we have done with our kids after reading our stories. We did Down by the Station, and then I sang it to them. I asked them to create a train. Knowing that supplies are limited at home for our kiddos right now, I told them to find whatever they could to make a train. So as you can see, one of my friends made it with dinosaurs. Another one made it by taking their family outside and lining them up, and another used Legos. We read Aliens Love Underpants, and they could create an alien out of whatever they had at their house. I read the story Dragons Love Tacos to them, and then posted a little video to show them how to create a fire-breathing dragon. So here's our quick example of that. And then to lighten it a little bit for the kiddos, we read a lot of Mo Willems books. So I showed them how to create a pigeon out of their hand. And I loved seeing that the kids took it to another level, and a couple of my girls made theirs into girly pigeons, because why not?
So I think that this is a really key slide here. The kindergarten team meets daily. And when we say the kindergarten team, it includes our pre-K, it includes our teacher assistants, it's our regular education teachers and our special education teachers. And the connection with the family, the planning, the videos, and everything couldn't happen without such a collaborative effort. And it's really impressed me the way this team has come together. Working in 2 schools, they don't always see each other every day or have a chance to talk to each other as much as they would like. But during this time, they've made that extra effort to really come together as a single team and create really a product for these students that has given a continuity to education during this time, bringing structured literacy and math into their homes.